How's it going, everybody? Today I'm here with Melky Tran, a popular creator, filmmaker who is actually creating an entire show right now on Instagram through short form content. And today I want to talk about that. I know you have like a background in filmmaking and you make a bunch of different episodic content, and a lot of your stuff feels very like a blend of industry stuff as well as like this kind of very like Gen Z creator stuff.
Yeah.
But what got you to the idea to want to make like an actual entire episodic TV show on Instagram?
Great question, Jesse. I initially just always wanted to work in film and TV, and I graduated during the pandemic, and it just felt like everything was up in the air with the strikes and everything. And so I got my start working at Jubilee Media, if you know what that is. It's like a YouTube channel, and I worked as a producer director there. And at one point, I rewatched La La Land, and I was like, "What am I doing? Making someone else's dream come true? I'm here to make my dream come true."
Yeah.
And I just always wanted to be a film director, and I got a fellowship, which was so cool. And I reposted my short film online, and there my now manager saw it because it went a little viral, and he repped me for film and TV. And because of the state of the industry, eventually he told me, like, you're not going to be able to put your energy in writing a pilot and selling it right now. Go make some content.
Right.
And so I really didn't want to for a while. And then I was in a relationship, and we broke up, and rather than committing to another person, I committed to myself.
To the game,
yeah. It was like focus, crazy.
Locked in.
I was locked in, and so I started making content, and that's when I started my series 3 Adult Things. And luckily within like 2 weeks of locking in, it went viral, and I just started doing that over and over again. But after a while, I was like, am I just a clown? I'm just a clown on the internet, making people dance and laugh. And I knew I had so much more to offer, so I talked to my manager about it, who is just like so incredible and has changed my life, honestly, with his direction. He told me that verticals are so popular right now. Like, a lot of my directing peers have had to do those like corny, like stepfather, rich guy, werewolf kind of like video verticals. And he just told me like there's a lot of value in that right now. And there are other like creators online that I think it was the Groundlings is what he referred me to.
Like the improv group or whatever?
They're an improv team, and they had this one. I don't know if you've seen this sketch. It's like, is there a black person here? Okay. It's like they have like this popular recurring character. I think his name is Chit.
Okay.
And that they were in talks with like these really... like the studios for like a multi-million-dollar deal.
From that?
Yes.
Wow.
And so that like really opened my mind of like, okay, maybe that's the way to go. And so it was just another part of it is like making content about, I don't know if you feel this way, making content about your own life, about yourself, like constantly monetizing yourself and constantly like commodifying your life just got exhausting. So making a scripted series, there was like more separation in who I am. And what I loved about it is I got to really like showcase my writing, directing skills in a format that's most similar to film and TV versus my 3 Adult Things content, which felt very like online. So really like you can see it on here. I wrote, "This platform is a ladder, not a prison," because I didn't want to be trapped doing social media forever. Even though I really love it right now, I just don't want to, like the lifespan of a creator and influencer. I don't know how long it is, but I want longevity in my creative life, and it just felt like the next step to expand for me.
Okay. Do you know what's weird I've noticed about that is because I feel the same way. Like, I don't have in terms of video stuff that I do, it's not like there's a dream I have of like making a movie or doing something like with Hollywood. But I know a lot of people that are in like a more filmmaking niche that feel that way. And it's also kind of ironic though, because the same things that they want to do, the people who do that industry stuff, like have no idea and have nothing figured out in terms of like how to make like a reel or whatever.
Yeah.
So both the industries are like want to be each other, and they're both not good at each other's thing, or like not in the door in each other's thing. And I feel like it could work together so much more cohesively, but instead it's like they're enemies, you know?
Yeah. I think like what I really love about my positioning right now is I feel like a hybrid of both in a way, because I think the great part about what I'm doing right now is there's no studio telling me no and telling me like I have to change my creative. There's no one to like, there's no boss. I'm the boss, which I like. And I also love like having my own audience. I love the immediate feedback I get whenever I click post versus like if I were to have something more long form, like I have to go on Reddit or something to know what people think. And yeah, it would be like less of my baby, but it's a little bit more reach. So
do you think that influences how you make stuff though? Because then, you know, if you made that whole show, you're not making, it's not all like back cataloged, right? You're making each one as they come, or do you already have them all made?
I do them in batches of 3. So like I just released my 3 for the month, so I'm empty right now.
Right. So now you like could use some of that feedback. But that, I don't know, like sometimes that can be good and bad, right? Because if you stayed true to like what you thought from the beginning, maybe it just needed like some time.
Yeah.
But also sometimes people actually do have good feedback, even if they don't package it that well and they're assholes on the comments. You're like, fuck you, but like, you're right. I shouldn't do that.
I mean, I honestly, like, I'm very blessed to not get as much negative feedback. Sometimes it's like, girl, you need to eat healthier for your skin. That was one guy. I was really upset by that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like, I'm really grateful that my audience is loving my work. And I think that's really the feedback, seeing which episodes or which like for example, in my most recent episode I put out this weekend, like that was the best received thing I put out so far, and it makes me feel good. Like, okay, every week it's getting
like one like
better.
The trying girls one.
Trying women. Hello.
Yeah, my bad, women. That one was good. See, that episode is interesting for me to see as a viewer because I don't know. I think because we were talking about before we were recording, like your vibe and stuff. Like I thought you would maybe be gay or like bisexual.
Oh yeah.
So the video when it's like, I don't know. It's like I feel like that felt like that actually happened to you. You know. And I know it's like this kind of feels like it's like those shows like comedians used to have where it's kind of about their life but not really.
Yeah.
That's how this feels. So it's as the viewer, I feel like you're watching it and you're like, is this one a real like story or not? You know?
Interesting. Yeah. No, I love that feedback, and it is very much like Curb Your Enthusiasm or Seinfeld, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, because I like the way I've been kind of structuring it is viewing my life as a parody. Like, if this is a parody of my life and these are all my friends still, but they're just exaggerated versions of themselves, like what would we get into? And that specific episode, like my friend Lisa, who was in the episode, her and her girlfriend, she always used to tell me that she thought I was gay.
Yeah.
And that I would just have to try women. And Christina, my friend, who is like the girl that asked me out, she didn't actually like ask me out, and I didn't actually go on a date with a woman, but I was like that monologue I go off on about like learning about strap-ons and like not having an experimental phase, like that is all true.
Yeah.
So there was some curiosity, but I think it's just like taking it to like another degree. You thought I was gay?
No, I didn't think that you weren't.
You what?
It's not that I thought you were, but I would have believed it if you said like
that.
Yeah, like, or you saying you weren't was, I guess, not surprising, but I was like, oh, I guess I don't know, you know. I could have it could have gone either way, right?
Yeah, I could go
like,
either.
Some people like, yeah, pun intended. But like some people, you know, I feel like it's like more obvious if they are or not. But I don't know.
You could go kind of. You look like you might if you were drunk.
Well, that's crazy. One thing I wanted to ask you like about the show specifically is what do you think are kind of because I know the obvious benefits of doing it this way is like content and reach and like this and that, But what do you think are the pros and cons of like the vertical format and doing it that way?
That's an interesting question because when I did my first batch, because I do 3 every month, I really did not like shooting vertical in that way. I'm like, because I just shot a short film a few months ago with the same DP, and I'm just like, it's not looking the same.
Yeah.
It just changes. Like,
well, it's new for the people too, right? Like the actual cinematographers are usually doing that other way, right?
Yeah, he like worked on a vertical feature before, so he was
okay.
getting some like reps in, but there's just way less space to play with. There's less depth sometimes, and it's all about I don't know, less ways to play with frame, because mostly it's just going to be story driven. It's just going to be someone like in the center talking,
and there's no like you kind of have to center composition in most subjects, because it's not like there's rule of thirds or anything.
Exactly. So
like
it's
vertical.
You just can't be as creative in the way you storytell, but you find other ways to storytell, like in lighting or within movement, which has been cool. And sometimes when I'm making these projects, I think like what makes it an easier lift is I don't have to think about composition as much. I could just be like, when I shot list, I don't really storyboard right now. I just like make a shot list because I know how it's supposed to look. So I think like it adds to it helps with the workflow and the simplicity of the format.
Yeah. Also, I feel like the intimidating part to doing it that way is the story has to carry so hard, because like some stuff's just beautiful and they can kind of get by on it being like just visual porn, kind of like maybe it's not too interesting, it's just like oh cool, it's color graded or whatever. But with this, like it has to be entertaining, or else it's just like kind of commercial or whatever, or like a nice looking thing. And I deal with that a lot looking at stuff on Instagram, like with the cinema, like kind of cinematic creators. I always think in my head, like, is this cool or did they color grade it? Like that's literally what goes through my mind. I'm like, is this even like cool or not? I'm like, I like how it looks, but that's it really. Like I don't know what else to do with it. It's not something that I would be able to recall or like reference or show someone. And sometimes that's the point of some of this certain stuff. Like it is just like visual things, but it's same with like audio, like how they always say like you can get by if the video is whatever, but if you have bad audio, like no one's going to listen to it. It's the most important thing.
I feel like that's actually like I don't want to say like a hot button topic for me, but something like where I was very opposed to becoming a creator because of that kind of thought process. Because I think the really great thing about social media is it has, in a way, democratized creativity. Like everyone can express themselves, but then I feel like it's also just making things flashier and things that have much less depth and thought and expertise to it, to just like showcase like, look what I can do. And I like, at least for me, what I'm like, why I feel like I'm a creator, but I feel like I'm a filmmaker first, is I always put storytelling and voice first. And I think as a director, or the journey of being a strong filmmaker is all about curating your voice and learning it and knowing it, and that's really what artistry is versus only creativity.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the stuff you do, you can tell that you have a different approach, or like not the exact same like creator background or whatever. Like besides like the 3 adult things thing, that feels like so like someone only like that knows a lot about being online could make that serious. So like as much as maybe you think about this being more like industry, or like the stigma of being like a professional, that is still like a big accomplishment to make something that many people want to watch and see and like resonate with, because it's really hard to make shit that's like consistently funny and entertaining, especially when you're doing the same like idea again, because it can easily become stale. So I think I don't know, like I think it's funny that you don't kind of like that world as much, or like want to be that associated with it, because that thing is like that could be someone's only thing and be like, that's also enough, you know, like that's an entertaining thing.
Definitely. I appreciate you saying that. And I want to make it clear, like, I do love being a creator too. Like,
Yeah.
I think it just took me a while to work through those. I guess because I came from a more filmmaker side, the idea, like, I'm not as talented as those people that are, like, in the more industry side,
Right.
because I went to the digital side, even though I think, like, digital is amazing because of accessibility and being able to I don't know, there's so many amazing parts about like being a digital creator, so I definitely love it now.
No, I get you. And the reason I'm like able to, or I feel like I resonate with that too, is because I've felt the same way. And I know a lot of people who are like the way better designers than I'll ever be. And but they're like, we're both more successful in different ways, you know. And like the grass is always greener, because I'm so jealous of like the clients they have and stuff, because they're so dedicated to that and they're so good at that. And they almost like don't use social media. Like the best designers in the world have like 5,000 followers that I've seen. Like it's a lot for that, but it's because they only post like bangers every like 2 months or 3 months. But then again, like some of those same people have told me like, damn, that's so sick that you could also make money on like this video shit, or just like doing this and doing that. And so I think I don't know, I think that's just like a shitty part of the human existence, is that you're always comparing yourself to like other stuff.
Yeah, you want what you can't have. But that's kind of what I like about being a creator, is you can do so many things at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, you can put your
true.
fingers in all the purses.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said
Like
that.
all the, what is it?
You
Like
can put
different
your-
baskets of eggs or whatever.
Yeah,
Eggs
that's a
in
better way
different
to
baskets. Oh my god, that's funny. Put all your fingers in different purses. I like that.
You can use it.
Did when you first made the 3 series thing, like the 3 series, so you, if you don't know, anyone listening, Melky has this series. It's like 3 things that happened to me as an adult. That's what it's called.
3 adult things.
3
that
adult
happened.
things, and it's like very interesting, very over the top, like depiction of whatever happened this week, like her cat throwing up on her or something, or like a bad date or whatever it may be. And I'm curious, what was some of your inspirations on like the actual kind of way you do that in the format, and like just the overall aesthetic of it? It's very like Y2K too. Also.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think like when I was like I said, like I started, just decided I'm going to be a content creator, and I wanted to do it immediately. I started doing like different formats, and actually started, like, one of my first videos was trying to do more educational content in a way, like
about film.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I'm doing self-portraits. Here's how I light myself. But I like hate lighting, and I hate like shooting, so I don't even know why I did. I was like, this is not good advice for people. I tried doing that, and then I like talked about some of my work experience, and my manager just kept suggesting to me like, put your voice in it. And I you know, when you're an educator, it really narrows your audience, because it's just people that want to learn in that niche, versus something that might have a wider appeal, that making people laugh, you know? So whenever my first 3 adults thing, I think it began, like the very first thing was that I found out that my detergent was fabric softener, and so my clothes were filthy, and I like looked at my clothes and I'm like, oh my god, there's stains all over my clothes.
They're soft though.
It was so soft. And yeah, I had like funny things to say, and like I think it was also like the California fires were happening at the same time, and I had to like consider packing my stuff, and so that was like another thing that was part of that week. And I always was like, I'm a silly gal, but I never wanted to be funny on the internet, in case it like, what if it's not funny? That's such like an awkward thing. But I think I sat on it a while, and I thought like, this is a funny what made me think of the format is like, I knew 3 would, I was thinking about like my background in Jubilee. You know, you think about click-through rate, retention, and some, like, I thought about retention, and if I had 3 things, people would want to watch all the way through to
Definitely.
the end. So that like kind of set it up for me, and I wanted to do something that was repeatable, and the adult things came because of the fabric softener. Honestly, like that was just like, I'm a kid, like what was I doing? So yeah, after that one went a little viral, my manager just told me do it again. And so I did it, and that one went like mega viral. And then for a while, it's just like every week people were like, 1 million people were tuning in to see what I was doing. But then it just became so much to have to keep like 1 million. Like I was having no one look at me, and then like 1 million every week. So it became like a lot of pressure, and I was burning out pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like the curse of something like working or whatever, is now you feel like when you try other things, you're doing like a disservice to this like core thing. But it's also, that thing didn't exist at some point. So you have to try new stuff too. Because, and yeah, like making content's weird too. Because sometimes I feel like, oh, I can't do it this way because I'm the person that does this. But then you're like, no, that's the whole point, is like you're able to do whatever you want. It's also like such a first world like problem though, because most people can't even figure out one thing that works. It also feels annoying to be the person that's like, man, like all my cool shit is like, I don't want to do it anymore. Like, cause it feels like you're a big baby or something.
Yeah, like it's a privileged position to be able to do what we do. So I find it like hard to like on my close friend story, I'm complaining. I'm miserable on my but then you can never really publicly share that information, I feel, because we're in such an amazing place in our lives to be able to work for ourselves.
Right. And it's like that like, oh, like my lobster's too buttery, my steak's too juicy.
Exactly.
It's so like specific too. That's why it is cool though, I think, to talk to people that do like the same stuff as you, whether it's like because I know a lot of different creators in different niches, and I think you're similar to me, where our background is like the actual thing that we're talking about or we're doing is what came first, like the profession or whatever. So then that's an even another like hyper specific version of a person to like know what you're talking about. And that I'm still thinking about that whole thing like you were saying about I feel the same way all the time. Like I need to keep up this identity of like no matter how good I do as a creator, I still want people to be like, oh yeah, but I'm a real like designer too, like don't forget. Like I know you said that with the filmmaker stuff, but then sometimes I'm like, why does that matter? Why do I care what people even think about that?
Let me think about that. I'm like, why do I care? I think like it's just a feeling of legitimacy or like talent. But I think at this point, something I really am proud of myself of, because like before I started content creating, I was like laid off, and I was just trying to find work, and I would work small gigs here and there, but I was very depressed. I had no job. I just got out of a relationship, and my self-esteem was just at an all-time low, and I had to really learn to validate myself. And then when I started content creating, it was like, oh my God, now everyone's validating me. And I was just like addicted to that validation. And if I change my type of content or whatever, like we were talking about, then people may leave me. And I like, it was just hard. And I think now I just really love my work so much, and I like my work so much, and it's like I don't need someone to tell me I'm great at it, because I just have gotten gotten to the point where I know I'm great. And even like people that are I don't know, working more, like if they're a commercial director, a music video director, it doesn't really matter to me. Like I'm very happy doing what I'm doing, and I know that I'm talented enough to do the same job as them, but I just chose a different lane. And so I had to really work on it though to feel that way.
Yeah, I get that. I feel like I go in and out of how I feel about that stuff. But then it's weird too, because it's also I try to frame it like the opposite, where it's even harder or cooler that I did it this way because it's even more like impossible or whatever when you look at stuff. Like one of my friends was like talking to me one day, and she was like, it's so crazy how you make this much money or do all this through making like videos online. And instead of being like, yeah, that is crazy, my first thing was like, well, no, I actually make money from doing like graphic design work too. Like that was my default to like go into like, no, I'm not just that, because even though that was a compliment, my mind was like, they only see you as the person that does that, not this actual thing.
Yeah.
Even though that's kind of true. I do make a lot of this like living off of that side of stuff now.
Right.
And it's weird to be, it's weird to not think that that's cool because it's pretty hard to do, you know?
Definitely. I think it's like maybe a value of that skill set.
Yeah.
Like thinking because it has been more accessible for people, it's like, okay, it's easier to pop out. You don't need like the specific talent that we both really covet and like care about to pop, but we're using like a different type of skill set. We're using like marketing and like video production and storytelling, but just utilized in a different way. But I totally hear you.
Speaking of that, I know you do like, because obviously like brand deals and stuff, that's like the way most people make money from like content.
Yeah.
At least that I know, like those usually are substantially better than any type of like platform monetizing or anything. And I really like your stuff because it feels like an actual commercial. And I feel like that's how you're kind of bridging that gap between like doing, if you want to do commercial stuff, is you don't feel like your videos when you do them don't feel like a creator selling something. It's more like you're the star of this commercial that's about this product.
Yeah.
And I was just curious, like, what's your thought process behind that? Because I've seen you like hire people and all this stuff just for like, you know, to promote like Gillette or whatever it was
Gillette.
whatever was the brand. I forget. I'm thinking of like a razor one or something that you did, or a skincare one.
I did a skincare one. That's probably what you're thinking. Yeah. Thanks for saying that. Like I do put a more effort when it comes to that stuff. I guess it is like going back to me trying to be legit a little bit. Like I definitely could have just set up my iPhone and like talked about it like
green screen.
Yeah.
Buy this shit.
But I just like, I like to have a little bit more fun with it, or like I view it almost sometimes like a portfolio piece in a way to show other brands, and that like I am also like a director and hiring a crew. Like these brand deals, they give you good money, so it's like I can spend some of it like to make it really quality into something. Like I'm very much a person that reinvests into my projects, not always with the branded stuff, but like with my my next session series, like that's all the money I've made from like my brand deals, reinvesting it
I think it's true. Like those like the brand deals are so stupid to me because like the amount of money they pay is, I'm like, how could this even be worth it for them? Like, it's like, I don't want them to stop, but like, I'm also like, I guess like, it's cool that they think this is that valuable, I guess. And I think since like with what you do and like, I know my appeal for these brands is like, I have authority in that niche or whatever, like design. It's like, oh, if he's good at that or likes that, then it's a good thing. And I know with a lot of the creators like you that do more like filmmaking stuff, I think the video itself is more important than like how well it does, because it looks nice and stuff, and they can always promote it and do that and this and that. But where was I going with this? Yeah, like I just think it's
insane.
It's crazy the money, but then you look at like what they spend on other shit.
No,
like $10 billion or $1 million on like a billboard, and I'm like, okay, then it's not that. It's just there's too much money in that in general, I think.
I mean, like within the commercial space for like commercial directors, it's really shrinking right now because of the influencer economy. Like because a lot of brands are thinking, would I rather spend $40,000 for this, which would be like a low budget commercial? Would I rather spend like $40,000 for a commercial that like might not get seen a lot, or would I rather spend $40,000, give it to an influencer that has a direct audience that can like sell exactly that thing? So it's really like changed industries, and like it's difficult for a lot of commercial directors right now.
I bet. I mean, I've seen because even if the rates are high for like a brand deal, but I've seen commercials where worked on production stuff, or even like I used to make like treatments for people a lot, like just design them like so they could pitch them to like they'd give me the text and I would like make it look nice or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
And they would pitch it. And then I started talking to all these directors and like even some of their day rates are like 40K or something.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, I don't know how long these productions are, right?
Yeah.
But like, let's say that's like a couple of days or a week.
Yeah.
Like they could just hire like fucking 10 creators or whatever.
Exactly.
And like,
yeah.
I bet you it would net out at the very minimum the same in terms of like conversion or whatever, like trying to metric they're trying to track.
Yeah.
So I do get it. That's what's weird is the creator economy or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
It seems like it's only getting bigger, but it doesn't feel, as the person making stuff, I don't ever feel like it's like secure or chill.
Oh,
it always feels like
same
it's all
with
just
me.
gonna like explode any day.
Do you watch RuPaul's Drag Race?
I have seen it, yeah.
I always feel like I'm lip syncing for my life. Like this video has to be, but like really, we don't know how long social media will exist or how overpopulated it will be. So I really think it's like milking it until it's dry.
Yeah, that's how I feel, and I think that's one big part too why I keep up with like being a designer is I feel like I'm gonna have to go back to doing just that like 2 more years only, you know.
Oh, I think you're 2 years.
Yeah.
No, I think you probably have like. Do you do YouTube mostly, or what's your?
Mostly, well, I do YouTube and Instagram. I mean, YouTube, I guess, is the most I got like notoriety. I guess, or whatever. Like that's how people would know me the most if they knew who I was. Is probably YouTube. But just
okay.
because it's like not even that the views are that crazy, but just because it's more like relationship based than like a short form stuff. I think
Yeah.
like they're sitting with you longer and things. But then in terms of like money, it's like the Instagram videos
No
for sure.
way.
Like the brand deals with like Adobe or with whatever. Like mostly I work with like design stuff, like web
makes
design
sense.
stuff and this and that.
Yeah.
So that's that. But I don't know. There's no reason for me to think that it's all falling apart. It just has that vibe.
Yeah, I
like
totally
it's still
agree.
working, so it's fine. But I might as well, like milk it, like you're saying, until it's all done.
Yeah, I mean, like it's hard to not think it's ending when you're not like always growing or your videos aren't always performing. Because like I said at the beginning, like when I was content creating, my stuff went viral really early in my career, and so it was hitting like 1 million every week. So now it's like if it's not hitting 1 million, then like I'm falling off.
Yeah.
I'm flopping.
I know. It's such a that's such a high baseline though to
Yeah,
like
I know,
have
yeah.
expectations. I feel like it just comes in waves too. There's like waves where I post stuff and it's always like doing well, like 100K or whatever plus.
Yeah.
There's other times where it's like if it gets 20 or 10,000, I'm like, hell yeah, I did good. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
right?
that whole other week was terrible, you know, or whatever. I think you just have to. One thing I noticed about content making is you can't think of it as like what's your average like thing, because some stuff could get like so bad and then so high. Like you just kind of have to keep doing it and hope that it still kind of stays somewhat good, because I think you'll go insane if you're always expecting it to reach a certain like threshold every time, because you can't that's a outward metric that you're not able to control. Like you can control how much you do something, how nice it is, how much time you put into it, but you can't control what people watch or think or do.
Yeah. Wow. So what is the thing? Now I'm interviewing you. What is the thing that makes you feel like you did a good job if you're not looking at the numbers? Is it like the process or?
Like for video sake, maybe.
Or what makes you feel like you're doing well at your job right now?
Like when I'm doing like actual design work, it's just like if I think that I did the best I could and like I'm proud of the actual like art and the visual and the creative or whatever. And that is kind of besides the point. Like when I post client work, I don't care about how well it performs on social media, because it's more like you said, like a portfolio thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't do that well because it's like not that interesting to be like, here's this thing I worked on 3 months ago. Like it's cool, right? Unless it's like a hyper large artist that people are like, no way you worked with like Lady Gaga or whatever it is, you know?
Yeah.
Which I haven't. I'm just saying like
Hey,
an example,
in the future,
you know?
in the future.
But with video stuff, like I think if it looks nice, I think like the comments and stuff, like if people are either being like learning or entertained or is helpful or like value, just adding value to like something, because everything there's different value, right? Like entertainment, learning, I guess like rage baiting people is value too, even though it's like annoying. I think inspiration is good. Like the quality, I think like even when the metrics are down, if the quality metrics are up, like I'm satisfied. Like if people are like, this is so cool, or like, thanks so much for this. Like I did this and now people tell me like, I watched this you made and now I do this and now I have this job or whatever.
Right.
And that's cool.
That's amazing.
Because that's way cooler than being like, look at my video got 1 million views.
No, that's so true.
Like someone has a job because of something I did. Like that's pretty sick. It's hard to get jobs. You know?
That's true.
So I guess that, I mean, for you as like someone that does video stuff, especially like this being more of an official show, I know in TV that's the metric too, like watching. But how would you like rate if it's like done well?
Yeah.
The reviews or what? Or
I guess similar to what you're saying, like at first when I dropped this new series, I was really nervous because it's a little longer, not by a lot, but with short form, every second counts. It's insane how every second counts. So my videos were like, I was just worried about like the retention and if it was going to be pushed out. And when I dropped my first episode, I dropped it on like New Year's Day, and I was like, oh my God, everyone's hungover. No one's watching it right now. No, but then it was like some of the best feedback I've ever gotten. Like people were so excited about like the production value, about the tone, about the storytelling, about the writing. So it like that was extremely validating for me. And then I was like, okay, but this next video, this is going to be a banger. And then it just performed about the same, but people still thought it was really funny. So I just had to like really relearn. I mean, I still get in my head about it, to be honest, but I've been really pleased with like the feedback and how people have reached out to me about how they like it or how it's affected them. And I think that's, what you're saying, like the true value of creating for me is the connection with people and something I have to keep in mind. Although, you know, like my ultimate goal is like to have hopefully like a development deal or like a TV show coming from this series. So I always want to like continually keep the ball moving, whether that's just like getting more exposure so it's getting shared with the right people that can help me make it into a bigger thing.
What are you doing to like get that done besides just making something that's cool and like hoping people like see it? Is there any other like actual like things you can do? Because I don't know how that works, you know?
I don't know. Like I really do feel like what I'm doing right now is a proof of concept for my voice of like my filmmaking skill set and just every part. Like I'm like writing, directing, and acting in it. So it's really like showcasing my skills I'm trying to showcase it to the fullest. I'm just enjoying it as its own thing. Like although I hope that it can become something bigger down the line, I really am having fun like making it with my friends and like doing it in a small way and just putting in the reps to be a better writer, director, or actor. My manager was telling me like the next step that the industry may move is like these vertical series, like these short, like
Tubi or whatever the fuck it was.
Maybe. Well, Tubi is like a streaming for like, it's a little less mainstream. But like Netflix or HBO, they will probably want to acquire a vertical company that can like mix because they realize they're losing so much of their audience to an online.
I guess like what I was trying to ask is that would you take it off all your accounts if they were like that's the only way we'll put it on our thing?
No, I don't know. I don't think they would ask that of it because a lot of like what I'm do you know like Issa Rae and like Donald Glover? They did a lot of like web series things beforehand before they like made Insecure or whatever.
Atlanta,
yeah. But like I'm really viewing it as just like a new way of doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like a, what is that called? I guess it's like the pilot kind of, but because if you put all those together, it's like the length of an episode of a show.
Yeah.
So far, right? Because it's like a minute and a half or 2 minutes or whatever.
It's like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it would definitely be different, like expanding it to like what 24 minutes for a sitcom or something.
Yeah. I think the concept would still work. It just would have more of the context in the in between of like, instead of like, this happened and this happened and this happened, because I know it's hard to fit all that into one, like that short and still be like have enough depth but not be like where you feel like you didn't get the whole vibe of it or the whole like story.
Like it's been really fun to experiment because it just feels like a new format in a way. Like it doesn't feel like a lot of these vertical dramas that are popular in China right now, they are just like cut downs.
I've seen that.
Of like a feature, but what I'm trying to really do is like bite-sized TV. Like it has to be contained in there.
Do you think like, because you work with like a big team, right, on these, like, or like not bigger than one person? I mean, you have like lighting and a DP and all this stuff. But then some of the other stuff I see you do online is probably just you doing it, I would assume, like the more like comedy stuff or the more like playful stuff. What do you think's like the big difference when you have an idea of like doing it that way by yourself versus like having to direct a bunch of people?
Ooh, I feel like creating, and you probably feel this way, it's a very lonely thing to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes for me, it feels like a lot of weight on myself to like always do it by myself. But I think the great part about doing it with a team is like people care about it just as much as I do, and they'll want to see, like I have my friend Jules who is like a producer for it, and then my friend Joe who's the DP for it. I like send them cuts and just get them their thoughts because they care about the success of it. And obviously like just doing it with a team makes me feel a little more in my element because I'm not a DP. I don't like lighting stuff. I don't enjoy that part. And here's someone that's like amazing, like stunning at it, and it's just I think I really found collaborators that I trust that believe in my vision, but then just make it a little bit better in a way that surprises me.
That shit's so awesome. Like, I love working with other people that are like, because a lot of times if I hire someone and I'm on a project or I need help with something, it's something that I can probably do, but they're like that's all I do. So I know it's going to be even better. And sometimes it doesn't work out and like you get the wrong people or whatever. But when it does work, it's so nice to like know you don't have to even worry about that part because that person's like, that's their whole thing. So they're going to show up like as good as they can and make sure it's dope. So they're represented well. And it's like when people, I think that's why it's important to give people like credit and like ownership over stuff, because then they want to try even harder and make it cool because they're like, that's my name attached to it,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. With my first batch of episodes, I had like a camera team, but like my producer was just like holding the boom or whatever. And then my friend Amber, she was like, let me do sound for you. And I, like, oh my God, the sound is so much better. And I got like an editor this time too, Darren, who is just like amazing too.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it's been really cool to have people back the project too with me and like believe in it and want to give me their time to work on it.
Do you, what's like the timeline for you from coming up with the script for each one to like finishing the episode?
It's too fast.
Yeah.
It's like I'm trying to figure out this next month, but I have a writing week, so I write like 3 episodes and then I kind of have to produce it, like figure out who to cast and locations, and then I go into production and then I try to get an episode out by the end of the week, and then it's like edit, post, edit, post. So it's just like write, production, edit, write, production, edit. So it's honestly too quick for me right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna figure that out.
Do you have like a set amount of episodes you're gonna do?
No, I honestly like I just wanted to, my goal was like 3 a month and then to see how long I do it for. And because when I was talking to my manager, he said to me that yeah, and you know, if like the series doesn't work out, you can always make a new series. And I was like, the series is gonna work out. I'm not just gonna make a new series.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have been like open to that, so I'm glad that it is people are liking it, and I don't have to come up with a new idea.
Yeah, that's the like having the series or the theme thing, like the three adults thing, the show, that stuff is so valuable for making like videos online because it takes away so much of the like decision fatigue.
Yeah, the thinking.
Because if you could do whatever you want, like most people and myself too, like you just won't do anything.
Yeah.
So you need to have like those constraints, like, and it takes a lot of the pressure off of each one because you're like, fuck it, the next one will be better, or the next one.
Yeah.
Like I remember I did a series online, like posting like album art that I was just making for like spec work or whatever, like redesigning stuff just for fun.
That's cool.
And it was like A through Z, like every letter of the alphabet, a band from like of like hardcore music.
I love that.
And it got me real jobs and like all these other bands, like now I like we follow each other, like the singers and stuff. So it worked out well, but not every single concept did like particularly well or not. But the thing is, a series now is like something that I get referenced a lot for, like when people hire me or like on the mood board and stuff. So it's nice when you have like a collection, because the thing as a whole becomes more powerful than like no one's gonna be like, but letter H did bad on Instagram.
No, seriously.
You know, it's now a whole thing, you know.
Yeah. Like I think it's so hard to do one-off videos that are just kind of like, it takes so much brain power. Like the series really do help you build your account, in my opinion. Yeah,
and that's how I feel with this right now. Like since this is on like a newer channel and it's not like everything isn't particularly high like as my other stuff, like view wise, but it's nice to know like I'm just gonna put another one the next week, and it's like they kind of will grow over time, like with the catalog. And it's all compounding, you know, like the more you show up, sometimes it lifts like the old shit, like somehow.
Definitely.
Like I'll just get even on like YouTube, that's obvious, like the catalog or whatever. But I've noticed sometimes even on Instagram, like an old post will start getting like shared a lot, and I'm like,
really?
How did this happen? And you look at the little chart and it's just like that at some point, and you never really know why. You know, it's just like that's when you feel like good. I think that's like a good thing when you're a creator, because you're like, oh yeah, like that actually was cool. It just didn't do that well that week I put it out. You know? It gives you that, I guess like you need like those little wins sometimes to keep that momentum, you know?
I definitely agree. Yeah. Like whenever this video goes crazy, it's gonna like back catalog
exactly.
the rest of your stuff. Yeah.
That's true. It's like one of the last things I wanted to ask you is, if you were making this show or another show and you got paid the same amount of money no matter what, like your whatever amount you want, like $10 million, and that's like your salary, okay?
Yeah, I love that.
And the views are going to be the same, on no matter where it is. What platform would you want it to be on?
That's an interesting. Why ask that question?
Because I think like sometimes people want stuff to be on like a real thing, but it might be more people probably see it on like Instagram or YouTube, or so what's the importance of it being on there?
Is the structure different, like making something long form? Like I would be able to make it like
you'd make whatever you want.
I would want it on like a, not as much online, but it's not because I don't love my work being online. I definitely like people discover me online all the time. I think it's more about longevity in a way, and like the thing with content is it just disappears after someone watches it. It usually doesn't stay with people, versus something like if I were to make a movie, you know, and they sit down for an hour and a half, like that has more, I don't want to say legacy, but just a little more impact sometimes, because you're able to like absorb it at a different rate versus like just binging content all the time. And I think for me, ultimately what I want is to showcase my voice and connect with people. And although it's been amazing to be able to do it in the short form format, it's pretty restrictive too. And sure, like there are parts about like having it on, you know, like if a studio backed it, having that feeling of validation. But yeah, I think like I just know the reach of having it distributed through a major channel would, you know, change my life, and I wouldn't have to hustle the way I'm hustling right now. If I don't know, because you said if I get paid the same, you know, because the difference is like I'm not getting paid $10 million now on Instagram. Right. If I got it to like a bigger studio, maybe I would be getting paid that. And I like ultimately, I love to hang out. I just want to live my life and be able to like take time to reflect on it and express myself through my work. But through content creation, it just feels like nonstop sometimes. And right now, I don't have much of a life, to be honest. Like this is what I'm doing with all of my time, and yeah, I'm just really tired too.
I think it takes a certain type of person though to get to that point where even if you were like able to just chill, you would still be doing a lot of stuff. Yeah. Because I've gotten like I work with this brand right now where it's like a year thing, like where I have a monthly deliverable for like a brand deal.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I could only do that, and like it's still double what my last actual job was.
Wow.
So like I'm actually chill.
Yeah.
But I'm still doing all this shit for no reason. So I don't think that you actually will just chill. You know? Maybe I'm projecting because I'm not that way, but you're going to want to make stuff still, you know?
Yeah.
I think it is good to sit with stuff and reflect. And I do think that traditional pace is better for creative people.
Yes, yeah.
But then you don't want to be like Frank Ocean where you take like 10 years to make another thing, you know?
I guess that's fair.
I think it's a good balance.
He needs to live his life. He needs to marinate and, you know, think about stuff.
Yeah.
He's thinking about stuff right now.
Yeah. They're like, what did you do all week? I'm just thinking.
It's just so much pressure for him because that was like the most like beloved album of the 2010s, I feel.
Yeah.
And did you see The Coach? Are you a fan of his?
Yeah, I mean, I like Frank Ocean. He's just a good example of like a slow burn artist. You know?
Yeah.
And you have people who would put out mixtapes like every week on SoundCloud. There's like Little B and shit.
There is like some value in limitations in a way. Like if you don't drop something for a while, there's like anticipation versus if you're just like feeding the pigeons. Yeah.
And sometimes it like is like, all right, we're good. Like that's enough.
Yeah.
You know, like,
it's too much.
How'd you get it? We were still on the other one, you know? Like chill.
Yeah.
I think, we'll see. I hope it gets I hope that it gets whatever you want it to get picked up by a show or network or whatever. Is there anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
That I'm just having fun doing it. I really like feel the most fulfilled I ever have, and I love, even though my hopes are for it to like grow somewhere else, like I'm really enjoying the now, and I think I want to put in more reps to just like get better and better at what I do. So like I think sometimes it's hard to enjoy where you're at because you're always like dreaming somewhere else, but I'm enjoying where I'm at.
That's good.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you. Cool. And everyone, if you don't check out Milky Tran Instagram, she does these super cool TV show and also funny videos, and maybe you'll see her on Hulu soon.
HBO Max.
HBO Max. My bad. You'll see on HBO Max.